What is this you're watching, human?
Cracking Good Cookery. It's the YouTube channel of this world-class chef, and he shows you how to take everyday ingredients that we all have around the house and transform them into dishes worthy of a fine dining restaurant. This is the first video he's done since the COVID-19 outbreak started, and I'm really curious to see what he comes up with.
You got rice? You got water? Boil the water, cook the rice, eat the rice, and just be happy you have food. God damn it, I haven't left the house in 2 weeks.
Would you feel like rice tonight?
No.
What have you been up to?
I have just returned from a walk.
Oh, how was it?
I despise these warming temperatures, but it was fine otherwise. I strolled through town for nearly an hour and never encountered a single human. It was lovely.
You're not one of those coronavirus is good, actually, because it's killing all the humans people, are you?
Certainly not. I would never wish death on the many innocent humans who are suffering as a result of this virus.
That's good.
Though I can't help but notice how much worse the pandemic has gotten as a result of typical human foolishness.
Oh, believe me, a lot of us have noticed that too.
Where is everyone else?
Let's see. Stuffy went out on a grocery run. Toby Benson and Jack are at TBIB working on that case I helped out with last week. Oh, it turns out Toby Benson's client was the one who hoarded all of those instant noodles, and he was just using Toby Benson to make his former partner look guilty. Toby Benson was pretty pissed about that.
I do not care.
And Hans Krieger is...
Good day, my friends.
right there.
How are you bearing up during our ongoing forced social isolation?
Very well, thank you for asking. In fact, very soon I will only have to practice social isolation while here in the non-Husky community.
Oh, really?
Yes, thanks to our prompt and thorough response to the threat of COVID-19, the Husky community plans to lift most social distancing measures next week and return to business as usual. Internally, that is. We will still have to limit our interactions with the non-Husky world for the time being as a precaution.
So the Husky community is basically New Zealand as far as this goes.
You mean New Zealand is basically us? If only the rest of the world had followed our example as closely as the Kiwis did.
What's this limited interaction with the non-Husky world policy mean for you? You spend just as much time around non-Huskies as you do around Huskies.
True, but the non-Huskies I spend the most time around are my housemates here. As long as none of you have been exposed to the virus, and as long as I continue to practice sensible social distancing outside the Husky community, I should be fine.
Let us hope for your sake that none of us is an unwitting, asymptomatic carrier of this dread plague, which can lay dormant within a body, manifesting no outward signs of infection for days or even weeks after exposure.
Yes, let us hope, but for your sake.
And you, my friend, how are you?
I'm pretty normal, actually.
Highly debatable.
I feel bad for everyone whose life has been disrupted by this, but mine really hasn't been. I worked from home already. I don't have kids. The only thing that's different for me is leaving the house slightly less often than I did before all this started. If anything, I'm kind of jealous of people who suddenly have all this free time, because I don't. I have friends online who are like, so what shows are you catching up on? And I'm like, none of them. I work just as much as I always did. On the other hand, I am not jealous of the depression and financial instability a lot of them are dealing with. So I guess it kind of evens out. How about you, Hans? Are you running into any problems now that all the classes you teach at City College are online?
Nine, this has not been a problem. In fact, my confidence in my own abilities as an actor and a teacher of the craft has never been higher. There are challenges to teaching the art of performance through a video conference call, but overcoming those challenges has shown me that my abilities exceed even my own previous estimation. I now believe I can effectively teach anyone in any circumstance to be a better actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Sorry, I was just trying to set you up. I thought you had more.
I have nothing else. So, as you know, as a result of a stakeout I conducted last week, I discovered that the client who hired us to find a stash of hoarded cup of noodles had actually hidden the noodles himself and was using me to deflect the blame onto his former business partner. As you also know, I really don't like it when clients do shit like that. So I have decided to seek monetary restitution and violent retribution from this client and have conceived a plan to achieve both of those ends. The plan is as follows. Step 1, go visit my client. Step 2, beat his ass and take his money. Any questions?
No, sounds good.
Have you considered a plan that isn't quite so blunt?
What, you mean like cutting on him?
No, I mean using a little more finesse.
Don't let him see the knife until the last second.
Or maybe don't use a knife at all.
How am I gonna cut on him without a knife, baby?
A saw?
I'm saying don't cut on him or beat him up or use any kind of violence. Does he know that you know he double-crossed you?
I don't think so. I was gonna call him last night and leave a threatening voicemail, but I fell asleep watching Wife Swap.
What was it gonna be?
What do you mean, baby? People swapping wives, that's what it always is.
I meant the voicemail, you thick fucker. What were you gonna say in the voicemail?
Oh, I know exactly what I was gonna say. I rehearsed that shit and everything. Hey, motherfucker, it's Toby Benson. You made 2 mistakes, baby. Mistake number 1, you fucked me. But you didn't kill me. That was mistake number 2. You wanna try for 3? Don't worry, you'll get your chance. I'll be seeing you real soon, baby. And then I'd hang up.
Not bad.
Especially if you like visits from the cops.
What would the cops do, baby? I was very careful not to make any explicit threats.
I'll be seeing you real soon?
That don't have to be threatening. Maybe I meant I'll be seeing you real soon at the farmer's market because I know you like them apples from Mountain Valley Orchard.
Regardless, since you didn't make the phone call and the client doesn't know you know about the double cross, I suggest we try to outwit him before resorting to violence.
What did you have in mind, baby?
Well, this client tried to con you, so why don't we turn the tables and con him instead?
Oh, sure, baby, I got you. Run a game on him, like in those episodes of Knight Rider and MacGyver inspired by The Sting.
Exactly. And I can help. I've seen The Sting. I've even seen The Sting 2. No one saw The Sting 2.
So let's hear it. What's your big idea?
Why don't you call him up and tell him something he doesn't expect for you to tell him?
Like what?
Tell him you broke his former partner and he gave up where the noodle stash was hidden.
Oh, damn. That might work, baby.
What good will that do us? He knows he's the one who hid the noodles, so he'll know we're full of shit straight away.
Not necessarily, baby.
Hopefully he'll start to wonder if his partner somehow knew where he hid the noodles and spilled the beans.
Yeah, but we need to apply more pressure, baby. Part of my deal with him was that if we found the noodles, he had to donate them to the Mid-Atlantic Food Bank. So I'll tell him that his partner gave up where the noodles are at and that I already told the food bank where the noodles are and they were sending people out to pick them up tomorrow.
Good. Maybe he'll panic and rush out to where he hid the noodle stash so he can move it before the food bank takes it and we can follow him and catch him red-handed.
And after that, he's like a fly stuck in my spiderweb, baby.
Hang on, you're still overlooking the great flaw in your plan. What if he sees that you're bluffing from the start?
That's a chance I'll have to take, baby. Have you got a better idea?
Aye?
That doesn't involve violence.
Aye?
Or arson.
Hang on. All right, I've got one.
Let's hear it, baby.
Simple. He's got to hoard a pot noodle, eh? Which he wants to sell, eh? So, you approach him and say you're a black market noodle salesman and you can take those noodles off his hands.
He hired me, baby. He knows I'm not a noodle salesman.
Obviously, which is why you'd approach him in disguise, you wanker.
What would a black market noodle salesman disguise even look like?
I have no idea. If we can't come up with something, we'll just find a real black market noodle salesman, abduct him, and steal his clothes.
But the whole point is to avoid hurting people.
Who's hurting anyone? We just snatch him, hold him hostage for a bit, then, when we're through, we give him back his clothes and send him on his way.
And what if he immediately runs to the police and tells them what we did, who we are, and where to find us?
That, my overly critical colleague, is why God invented blindfolds.
I don't know, baby. Your idea sounds a lot more complicated. Let's just keep it in mind as a plan B.
Got it. I'll start looking for a black market noodle salesman in your size, just in case.
Oh, they've got potatoes this time. Better not pass up this opportunity. Mayor Wilkes.
Ah, well, if it isn't Councilman Stuffy. Forgive me, but I don't believe I've ever learned your last name.
It's just Stuffy.
I see. Like Charo.
I prefer to think of myself as a less insufferable Bono. As long as we're both here, we should have a talk.
I quite agree, Stuffy, but if we're going to do this in public, I'd at least prefer we relocate to a less crowded location.
Agreed. We can speak freely over here. No other living thing has had a reason to set foot in this aisle for weeks. What's on your mind, son? I just wanted to confirm that our next town council meeting will be the regularly scheduled one on the 4th of next month. So far as I know, that is the case. And that meeting will be conducted via video conference? I don't believe that determination has been made at this time. I see. Well, I trust when the council does make that determination, I, as a member of the council, will be informed of when and how that discussion is being held so that I can take part in the process. Of course. And if there are any other meetings of the council between now and the next regularly scheduled session, I will also be informed and provided with whatever information I need in order to take part. Naturally. And you understand why I feel the need to confirm these things with you directly? Of course, because you, Stuffy, are a conscientious public servant and a good citizen. That makes one. Never mind. It's because you attempted to exclude me from the meeting you held last week. Oh, come now, Stuffy, I explained that. It was just a little prank I was playing. If you hadn't called me to see about the locked Zoom meeting, I fully intended to call you and put you on speakerphone so you could join the meeting, which is exactly what happened. What harm was done? That's not what happened. I called you and you pretended to try and figure out the Zoom call before I happened to overhear the voices of the other council members who were at your house in the background. Is brazen gaslighting just Republican Party policy now? Was there a top-down directive issued from the White House? Or are you all just naturally following Trump's lead? You won't foster much cooperation from your fellow members of the council with talk like that, son. I want cooperation. You apparently would prefer capitulation, which you're never going to get from me. Is that a fact? If I'm such a devil, why are you so eager to cooperate with me? I'm not eager. If I want to do any good at all for this town, I have no choice. I know as long as people like you control the government, we'll never be able to make real progress. But if stopping you from making things worse is the best I can do, then that's what I'm going to do. To do any less would be a betrayal of my principles and my most basic responsibilities as a citizen. So I'm going to do whatever I can to stop you from causing harm, and if there's any good I can accomplish, however minimal, by working with you, I'm going to hold my nose and do it because that's my job. I suppose that's the best I'm going to get from you? I don't work for you, and I'm not beholden to you. I'm beholden to the people of this town, to the law, and to my conscience. As long as I'm doing right by them, I could care less what you think you're getting from me. I meant what I said last week. Try to exclude me again. Try anything else to block me from performing my duties or exercising my powers as a member of the town council, and I'll bring the state's attorney's office and the press down on you so hard you won't have enough breath left in your lungs to whistle Dixie. Excuse me, I have to go back and get some potatoes.
So that's the situation. Before we go out and try to run a game on this guy for real, I thought it would be a good idea to run a rehearsal. And I couldn't think of anyone better to give us some advice than you.
It is a very wise decision you have made. I will critique your performances to achieve maximum realism and credibility. As I said before, I can teach anyone, in any circumstance, to be a better actor.
When did you say that?
Never mind, it was earlier. You were not there. Let us begin.
Okay. Jack, you'll play the client in this. Toby Benson, you tell him you interrogated his former partner, and the partner gave up the location of the noodle stash, just like we talked about.
Got it. And action. Good news, baby. I caught up to your old partner and cracked this case wide open.
Did you now?
Yeah, he gave up where the noodle stash was at. I already called it into the Mid-Atlantic Food Bank, and they're sending a truck over there tomorrow to collect the noodles.
Is that so? Well, there's only one problem as I see it.
What's that, baby?
You're full of shit, you lying bastard!
Jack, come on, he's not going to react like that right away.
9, do you not see? This is why our work here is necessary. What if the client does explode in anger and suspicion? Toby Benson must know how to react in such a way that is true and which will preserve the integrity of the mission. Continue.
Right then, shall I go again?
Yeah, go, action!
You're lying through your muzzle, you heap of shit! You haven't got the first clue where those noodles are at.
Yes, I do, baby. Your partner, the one who stole them noodles from you, told me right where they was at. Cut! You must do more than simply tell him you were told this or that. You must make him believe that you saw the misbegotten noodles yourself. What do you suggest, baby? Tell it to him as though it were the truth, and he will believe it. Action! All right, let me think about what I'm gonna say.
Do not think! Act! Action!
How the fuck am I lying, baby? He took me to where the noodles was at. I saw that shit with my own eyes.
Well, let me ask you something.
Ask me whatever you want, baby.
Where is it?
Fuck, baby, I don't know where it is. If he asks me where it is, I'm fucked.
There's got to be a way around that.
Yeah, and the way is for you, Toby Benson, to seize control of the scene and refuse to relinquish it to your deceitful former client. In the theater, it is not up to the writer who a scene belongs to. It is not up even to a director. It is up only to the actor. It does not matter how many lines you have or what they are. It does not matter what the other actors have to say or do. You walk out upon the stage, you command it, you draw the eyes of everyone to you, and you drive the scene.
This ain't gonna be a scene in no play, baby, when it's the real thing.
You are wrong. It will be live theater at its most spine-tingling. You will be playing a scene. Only your scene partner will also be your audience, and for this reason, in order to succeed, you must dominate him. He does not ask the questions. You tell him the truth you have come to tell him, and you force him to accept it as such, and then the scene must end.
This might work. Remember, Toby Benson, you won't be talking to the client in person. You'll be on the phone.
That's right, baby. So if I call him up, talk fast, don't give him time to think or ask any questions, and get the fuck out, we might be able to scare him bad enough, thinking that maybe his partner knew more than he thought he knew, to run out to get his noodle stash before anyone else does.
And then all we have to do is follow him, and we've got the noodles and him.
All right, I got this. I'm ready to go again. Let's do this, baby.
Action!
Ring, ring.
Hello?
It's Toby Benson, baby. I can't talk long, but I got some good news. I had a little talk with your former partner, and he gave up where he stashed the noodles at. Took me there and everything. I saw that shit with my own eyes, baby. It's definitely what we've been looking for. I already called the Mid-Atlantic Food Bank, and they're coming out tomorrow to pick it up. You did the right thing coming clean with me and donating those noodles to hungry people, baby. In fact, just to show I appreciate what you did, I'll waive my usual fee. Just pay my expenses and we're good, baby. Sound good?
What about?
All right, listen, I gotta go, baby. I'll be in touch tomorrow after they pick up them noodles. Later, baby. Click. I think that shit might work.
So, did that shit work?
Not exactly, but only because we never had to do it.
Aye. We were on our way to sit outside the client's house so we'd be able to follow him if he made a dash for the noodles after Toby Benson's call when I spotted a fella walking down Franklin Street eating a cup of instant noodles.
Ain't no stores around here had any instant noodles on the shelf for weeks, so I knew there was only one place he could have gotten it. So I pulled over and had a very polite conversation with the guy eating the noodles. He pointed me in the direction of the guy he bought them from, who just so happens to be
a known black market noodle salesman.
Sure, baby. Anyway, he was moving some of the noodles for my client, who I guess was starting to get nervous having them sitting around and wanted to get rid of them.
The noodle salesman admitted who he got the noodles from and coughed up where the stash was, and there it was. Case closed, neat as a pin.
And the Mid-Atlantic Food Bank will get the noodles he didn't manage to sell off yet? They were loading up a truck when we left, baby. Good. I like a story with a happy ending.
Ugh, but all that rehearsal wasted.
Nine, this is not so. An actor's preparation is never wasted. Everything can inform a future performance. This is one of the exquisite beauties of the craft.
I see. So the next time Toby Benson and Jack are double-crossed by a client who hired them to find a stash of hoarded instant noodles, which he actually had stolen himself while hoping to redirect the blame away from himself, they'll be ready.
Precisely.
What's for dinner?
Baked potatoes.
Oh.
I thought you loved baked potatoes.
I do. But I kind of want noodles. Hey folks, hope you enjoyed this episode, and now here's Hans Krieger with something to say. Hans?
Danke. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, share the video, and subscribe to this channel. And consider supporting this channel with a monthly donation to Patreon. Visit patreon.com/Steve Shives to become a patron.
Thanks, Hans. So, you really think you can make anyone a better actor?
Yeah, of course I can do this. Even for you.
Well, I mean, that's not much of a challenge for me, though, is it? I'm already a pretty phenomenal actor.
If that is what you say.
Do you not think so?
I have expressed no opinion on the matter.
Look, I'll prove to you that I'm a good actor. Check this out. Jackie Coogan from The Kid. Daddy, please, Oh, please, I want my daddy. Okay, and now here's Charlie Chaplin from the same scene. What do you think?
I think you are a liar.
Well, okay, but you can help me, right? You said you can make anyone a better actor.
Yeah.
So with a little coaching, I could be like Charlie Chaplin? I mean, as an actor, not with all the dating teenagers and gross casting couch stuff.
I said I can make you better. I never claimed the ability to transform a pile of raw lead into a crystal chandelier.
That was you expressing an opinion on my acting ability.
It was.
Okay.